We begin tonight by looking live at the launch site in Cape Canaveral, where history is about to be made in just a few minutes. Wink News is everywhere, covering every angle of this mission. We're going to take you through it step by step. Lois Tomey is highlighting those who remember the last trip to the moon. The emotion of that moment, still fresh, decades later. Maddie Herron is at a massive watch party in Tampa, where the excitement is building by the minute. And our weather authority, Josh Green, is tracking the one factor that could stop it all: the conditions right now. Plus, we're joined by two experts, Dr. William Downs, an aeronautics teacher training the next generation, and Navy pilot Rich Kolko breaking down what this mission means. We have you covered live from the ground to space. Artemis 2 is a crewed lunar flyby, 4 astronauts on board, a 10-day mission inside the Orion capsule designed to test deep space navigation, survival, and re-entry, all to pave the way for astronauts to land on the moon again. Once launched, the crew will spend the first day checking the systems in an Earth's orbit before then firing the engines to begin the journey towards the moon. Over the next several days, they'll test life support, they'll test navigation and emergency systems, all while traveling farther from Earth than humans have gone in decades. Mid-mission, they're going to swing around the far side of the moon, capturing images and observations, briefly losing communication with Earth. But then it's the journey home, a high-speed re-entry, and a splashdown in the Pacific, proving every system needed for the next mission, Artemis 3, and then Artemis 4, when astronauts hope to return to the lunar surface. All right, let's set the stage for you. Let me tell you where we are. We're at Riverfront Park in Titusville, and we have a direct view of the Kennedy Space Center. We have a direct view of the rocket sitting on the launch pad, which right now is ready to go. But we're not the only ones. Hundreds of thousands of people up and down the Space Coast have their seats ready, and they're ready to watch as well. Right here at our park, some people camped out overnight. Some people camped out for a couple of days. They wanted to make sure that they were going to have the best possible view of history in the making.
First woman should be going to the moon, so I wanted to see it.
Emily Paturica and her 2-year-old toddler Miles are ready to see history in the making.
Who knew if we were ever going to see something like this again, so I wanted him to be able to see it as well.
Chris Trebby feels the same way. He's seen other launches, but says Artemis is different.
It's special since we're actually sending astronauts out of low Earth orbit. It's been, 50 years? So it's nice to see.
His dog Prince is less excited, at least about TV cameras. Milton Levin is much more friendly. Just looking at his camera, you can tell he knows photography. He came all the way from Connecticut to see it in person.
First time man's been around the moon in, 50 years, something like that? Yeah. And the furthest they've been away from the Earth? So it's historic, I can't miss this.
And among those coming to watch, we found Tom Stovall from Southwest Florida. He wants to see Artemis in person as well. He's from North Fort Myers and thinks this will inspire the next generation.
I think it's exciting to come back in and give younger kids that, we grew up with it. Younger kids have no aspect of it at all.
Which is a great point, inspiring the next generation to get excited about space travel and space in general. And I do want to point out where we are. This Riverfront Park is a public park. It's free to get to, but if you ever plan on coming here, come early because it does fill up. All right, well, all eyes are on the launch here in the Space Coast. Viewers across Florida are gathering to watch it together. Maddie Herron is live at MOSI. That's the Museum of Science and Innovation in Tampa. All right, as we continue our coverage of going back to the moon, we can tell you that there is a 10-minute hold now. There's a 2-hour window that starts at 6:24. That's coming up in 3 minutes. Then they'll have 2 hours to fix whatever the issue is. We've heard that there might be a temperature issue with a battery. They are working to fix it. It is not scrubbed at this time. They are working, and they're going to try to get it lifted off in this next couple of hours. And we're going to continue to talk about the liftoff and how historic this is. We have in studio Richard Kolko, we have Dr. William Downs, and of course we have Lois Tomey as well. Rich, let's start with you. I know that you're a Navy pilot, and you're pretty proud of the Navy pilot's history for the folks who've walked on the moon.
I sure am. The first one and the last one, and 7 of the 12 that walked on the moon, and I'm sure several of the first ones that go in 2028 will hopefully be naval aviators as well. But right now you've got some astronauts sitting inside this capsule. They're waiting to see what happens. I know that we're concerned about a cancellation, but that's premature at this point. Right now there's time for the engineers to check out what this problem is, resolve it, that's either that battery or some sort of communications issue that just needs to be checked. These teams are not prepared to take off unless everything is perfect. There's no reason to push this thing outside of the envelope where there could be an issue with safety, not only for the astronauts, but for the aircraft or spacecraft, as well as any people on the ground. Russ.
All right, Rich, thanks. And just again, NASA has confirmed the 10-minute hold for right now, so we are at a pause situation right now. Lois, this spaceship is really incredible. The people who are on it are incredible. The people who have built it are incredible. But there's also history on the line here as well.
Well, that's for sure. And let's talk about this rocket and mistakes. These are scientists. Mistakes are something they look forward to because they learn from every single mistake. And if we think that they haven't gone through every single scenario and tried to think of how they would react to every scenario, we'd be wrong. In fact, we have a rocket scientist right here in studio with us tonight who can talk to us a little bit, if you would, Dr. Downs, about what they might be thinking and how they might be looking at an issue that they've had right now and how they might attack that at this moment.
What I see is making sure that if something is wrong, we don't make the mistakes of the past. It has to be perfect 100%. So let's go to the rocket engine. When that rocket engine, and I'll show a little picture here. This is the RL-10, and this is the cryogenic engine that will be used for landing on the moon. These engines, using this as an example, every part of that engine has a tolerance. Every part has to be perfectly 100 in spec. Just that little fracture of whatever it is, or misalignment, could cause the engine to blow. And so when these engines are put together, there is a verification check, there is another check, there is a test check. There are about 4 checks that go through to make sure this engine is working before it's even put into service. And so when they look at every part of the rocket and we say there's a battery here, well, we know batteries, if it's a lithium, I can't say exactly what it is, but whatever it is, if it's heating up, that's an issue that can cause a fire. And so that has to be rectified, that has to be fixed, and the astronauts are not going to want to go if they know they got a hot battery in the escape part of the spaceship. So that part has to work, because if there's an emergency, they have to escape. They have to get out of there. And so every part is important. There's no small, minor part.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Downs. And Russ, I know you're out there and we're watching that clock tick down right now. So what are you hearing out there on your site?
Well, it's one of the most marvelous things to see that clock ticking down again, because that means whatever
Houston
that issue
flight
is,
10 Rock.
they have some kind of
Our new 20
resolution.
is 22.
Let's listen in for just a second.
12.
Houston flight copies.
Rock copies.
223512.
Affirm.
22:35. Okay, so it looks like they're going to try to launch at 35 after. So that's great news. They're back on track. And I want to bring in Rich Kolko again as we talk a little bit about this. They've had a couple of setbacks this afternoon, but they've been able to resolve these issues. They seem pretty resilient, and they seem to act pretty quickly, Rich.
They do. They've got the finest engineer team that you could put together on the planet working these problems. So you can expect that if there's a solution to be found, the men and women at NASA and with the contractor companies involved, they're going to find that solution. 10-minute hold, I'm looking up at the clock counting down again, so that's good news. When you see the 10-minute hold, it doesn't say how long place. That just once they start the clock again, it's going to start at 10 minutes. So it looks like they have made that solved that problem. They're still checking everything that they need to, but the clock, again, see 8 minutes and change.
CLS is go for crew
So
access
back to you,
on
Russ.
retract.
Yeah, Rich, it's definitely exciting at this time. You can only imagine what the engineers and what the scientists and the trainers and the astronauts and everybody who put so many years of work into this are feeling right now. But the good news is the clock is going, And hopefully the flight will, there will be liftoff today, and we're going to see Artemis take flight. Bring in Dr. Downs one more time. Dr. Downs, talk about how they go about resolving these issues. Clearly there's a team of people that are able to fix whatever the issue is.
So the system checks that are in place, it's a continuous loop of checks. And if any part of the checkpoints show an issue, they go and immediately look at it with the battery. Is it overheating? Is it a sensor? They can do some kind of reset, and perhaps that fixes it. So every part has a part where you can reset it, or that unit has to be changed out. When it comes to like a helium leak, that's more serious. A hydrogen leak, that's more serious, and so it's not a quick fix on something like that.
Right, Dr. Downs, thank you so much for your insight on this. It really is an incredible thing that they're doing, and they have to make sure that they get it right. They cannot make mistakes, especially on a mission that is crewed, because you have 4 astronauts up there, you have 4 lives at stake, you have 4 souls on board, and we want to see these people come home. As we begin to wrap things up here, we're going to continue our coverage on Fox Florida for local coverage, and then we're also going to, if you want to stay with CBS, CBS is going to pick it up from here, coming up at 6:30. Okay, so we're hearing that they are still a go, which is just great news, and this has been something they've been working on for years. Artemis 2 is set to go tonight at this point, Artemis 3 next year, Artemis 4 is going to lift off in 2028. That's the one that hopes to take humans back to the moon, have humans walk on the moon once again. It is an inspirational day. It's a historic day. It's a day with thousands of people that they have turned out to be able to watch this. And in just a few minutes, we're hoping to see Artemis 2 take off. So to the astronauts, we wish them Godspeed and a safe return. We'll be following every step of their journey along the way. Have a good night. We are now right about 1 minute and 45 seconds. We've been talking about this for weeks. The build-up, all these people are out here. People are holding up their cameras, getting ready. Some 250,000 people, up to 400,000 people have lined the Space Coast to try to get a view of what we're about to see. We are at a park at Riverfront Park in Titusville. We have a direct shot, and just to reiterate, this is a free park that we came to. It is very crowded, but you don't have to buy a ticket. But if you are going to come here for one of these launches, come early, because you definitely want to get your spot staked out, as so many people here have. All right, checking the clock now. We are at about 1 minute and 3 seconds now. And about 30 seconds in, we are going to pause. We're going to listen in, and we're going to watch Artemis 2 take flight. We're going to watch history unfold right in our eyes. All eyes of the country and all eyes of the world literally are on Florida right now. It's a special day. It is a day that they have been working on for so long. Now let's take a quick pause. Let's listen in to Mission Control and watch Artemis 2 lift off.
The rocket is on its own. 4 brave explorers ready to ride the most powerful rocket NASA has ever launched. Sound suppression water is flowing.
15.
And here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. RS-25 engines lit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition. And liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of Integrity on the Artemis 2 mission around the moon.
Integrity, AMT high. AMT high.
On time passing 30 seconds into the flights. Integrity passes the alternate beacon. Target milestone.
That was absolutely amazing. Just incredible. Did not disappoint. It was certainly worth all the hype. A successful launch after all the build-up, things so far have gone exceedingly well, right up to plan. The people here absolutely loved it. We heard people cheering, we heard people clapping. It was amazing. We heard the loud sound. You could almost smell the smoke. This has been a day to remember forever. And for all these people who are out here, they're never going to forget it. I want to check in with Maddie Herron. She is in Tampa at a museum that is also sold out, has a watch party going on. Maddie, tell us a little bit about your experience there.
Reporting live in Tampa. I'll toss it back to you guys. I'm Maddie Herron.
Hi, Maddie, thanks. Yeah, that was really remarkable, and to see it in person is fantastic. To see it in a large group of people where people all gathered, that's got to be fantastic too. It really has been a pretty remarkable day, and it has gone absolutely flawlessly, and that's what they were hoping for. There were some delays along the way, but nothing that they couldn't overcome, no challenges that they couldn't overcome. So to Reed and Victor and Christina and Jeremy, you got to feel that they're feeling a whole lot better right now, and we wish them all the best in this journey. Godspeed. We're going to be following this journey all the way along till they splash down in the Pacific Ocean somewhere near San Diego 10 days from now. Space travel is back in a big way, and again, in 2 years, coming up in 2028, Artemis 4, the plan is for NASA to send man to the moon, send humans to the moon, have people walking on the moon once again. It really is going to be a journey that we're going to be able to watch year after year after year. Let's send it over to Emma, get an update on the rest of the news. And Emma, from your perspective, what did you think about that?
Russ, in here, it felt like we were all just speechless. And